Imagine you're sitting in this remote Tibetan hermitage. The year is 1921.
Freezing cold, I'd imagine.
Oh, absolutely freezing. The air is super thin. And you were surrounded by like 700 monks, nuns, lay people, just totally packed in.
Right.
And you are all settling in for this massive 24-day masterclass on the nature of reality, suffering, and, well, enlightenment.
It's just such a vivid scene to picture, and the guy at the front of the room, Pabanka Rinpoche, he was one of the most charismatic and influential Tibetan lamas of the entire 20th century.
Yeah, the incredible thing is today, this deep dive is acting as your personal shortcut to that exact 1921 masterclass.
Exactly, because we have the transcription of those teachings.
Right, edited by Trijang Rinpoche, called Liberation in the Palm of Your Hand. It's a really famous lamrim, which basically means stages of the path.
Stages of the path, yeah.
So our mission today is to essentially trace that exact chronological architecture for you.
Day by day.
Day by day. Chapter by chapter. We're going to summarize this profound text, starting from the really foundational preparations, all the way up to these like ultimate realizations of the mind.
It's quite a journey. And, whether you're intensely curious about Buddhist philosophy or honestly just looking for a systematic way to sort of upgrade your own mind,
Yeah.
this blueprint is designed to give you maximum insight, but, without the massive information overload of a 24-day sit.
Thank goodness for that. So let's jump right in. Section 1, days 1 through 6, which are all about preparing the vessel.
Right, the preliminaries.
Because you can't just, jump straight into the deep end of enlightenment.
No, definitely not. It's the analogy Pabanka Rinpoche uses is agricultural. It's like a farmer. A farmer has to clear and plow a field before they can even think about planting seeds.
Otherwise, nothing grows.
Exactly. So he spends the first 6 days purely on mental and physical preparation, just breaking up that hard soil.
And on day 1, he really emphasizes this concept of the optimum human rebirth.
Yes.
He actually says that your human life is worth 100,000 times more than a wish-granting gem, which is a huge claim.
It is, but think about his logic here. A magical gem, right? It only brings worldly wealth.
Like money, mansions, whatever.
Right, but worldly wealth cannot secure ultimate mental liberation. It can't free you from anxiety or grief. Only your current human mind has the actual bandwidth to do that.
Because animals are just operating on survival mode.
Precisely. So day 1 is basically a wake-up call to not squander this unbelievable opportunity.
Okay, so that's day 1. Then skip to day 3, and he starts talking about how to properly listen to teachings.
This part is so incredibly practical.
Yeah, he says you have to avoid 3 specific faults. And he compares the listener to a vessel, or like a pot.
Right.
So there's the upturned vessel, the leaky vessel, and the dirty vessel.
Yeah, so the upturned vessel is pretty self-explanatory. The pot is upside down. You're in the room, but your mind is elsewhere. You aren't paying attention.
Right, nothing gets in.
Exactly. Then the leaky vessel, the pot is upright, water goes in, but there's a hole. You hear the teaching, maybe you even like it, but you forget everything the second you leave.
My entire college experience, basically.
Right. But the third one, the dirty vessel, this is the most dangerous one.
How so?
This is when you listen with bad motivations, like you're seeking wealth or fame, or just to sound smart at a dinner party. You're pouring pure water into a toxic, grimy pot.
So the more water becomes poison.
Exactly. To combat this, he says you must view the Dharma, the teachings, as medicine, and you have to view yourself as a patient who is desperately sick.
It's like prepping a canvas before painting. If the canvas is super dusty like a dirty vessel, or if it's torn like a leaky vessel, the masterpiece just won't stick.
That is a perfect analogy.
Yes. Which actually leads me to day 4, the physical preparatory rites.
Yeah.
Things like cleaning your room.
Sweeping the floors.
Yeah, sweeping. Rinpoche explains that sweeping dirt is actually a symbolic practice of sweeping away the dirt of attachment, hostility, and benighted ignorance. But I have to ask, does the physical act of sweeping the floor actually change the mind? Or is it just purely symbolic to make you feel good while doing chores?
Well, in this tradition, physical actions and mental states are deeply, deeply linked.
Okay.
So doing a physical chore with the explicit, hyper-focused intention of, say, sweeping away attachment, it literally trains the mind. You're breaking your autopilot.
So you're not just daydreaming while sweeping.
Exactly. You are actively present, rewiring your cognitive habits in real time.
Wow. Okay, so the vessel is prepped, the room is clean. That brings us to section 2, these 7 through 13.
A small scope.
Right. And with the vessel prepared, The actual journey finally begins on day 7, and this section is essentially a harsh reality check.
Very harsh. It's designed to break our complete obsession with trivial, everyday life.
So days 7 through 9 talk about the absolute necessity of a spiritual guide, the guru.
Yes, and the analogy here is striking. He says, imagine you slip and fall from a really high mountain. Right. And while you're falling, you can't just decide to stop yourself. Gravity has you. In the same way, we are helplessly falling through our own bad habits.
But the guru is the one who catches you.
Exactly. A qualified guru carries you to liberation even when you are totally helpless.
And then day 10 hits, and it gets even heavier, the meditation on death.
Oh, yeah.
Rinpoche warns of these 4 mountains that crush everyone: old age, sickness, decay, and death. And he points out that they cannot be stopped by fleeing or by wealth or, magic.
They are inevitable. And he turns up the heat even more in days 11 through 13 by talking about fearing the lower realms and understanding karma, cause and effect.
Yeah, this part is wild. He talks about how karma multiplies. And the text shares this terrifying story about a man named Kapila.
Oh, the sea monster story.
Yes, Kapila insults these Buddhist monks by calling them animal names, like horsehead, bullhead, and so on. 18 different animals. And as a karmic result, he's reborn as this giant sea monster with 18 different animal heads. Now, I got to push back on this a little bit.
Sure, go for it.
Because focusing on crushing mountains of death, terrifying hells, and 18-headed sea monsters, that feels like heavy scare tactics. Isn't Buddhism supposed to be, peaceful and serene?
I know, it really jars people when they first read this. But you have to understand, this isn't fear-mongering just for the sake of institutional control.
Yeah, what is it?
It's a highly intentional psychological tool. The goal is to create absolute urgency.
Urgency to practice.
Exactly. It forces the practitioner to stop wasting their wish-granting gem of a human life on trivial distractions. It's like a falling piano. If a piano's falling on your head, you stop worrying about an annoying text message. You pay hyper-focused attention to your actions and speech in the present moment.
That makes a lot of sense. The fear is just an alarm clock.
Precisely.
But okay, so the fear makes you act ethically, you stop insulting people, you're behaving.
Yeah.
But you eventually hit a wall, right?
You do. And that's exactly what Section 3 addresses. Days 14 and 15.
The medium scope.
Right. Because even if you do good things and act ethically, you are still fundamentally trapped in the cycle of samsara, the cycle of suffering.
So this section acts as this profound psychological diagnosis of the human condition.
Yeah. Day 14 explores the 4 noble truths, but it uses a brilliant medical analogy from Maitreya.
Walk us through that.
So first, you have to diagnose the illness, that's realizing the truth of suffering. Second, identify the cause, the origin of that suffering, our delusions.
Let me get the virus.
Right. Third, you achieve health, which is cessation, knowing a cure is possible. And fourth, you rely on the medicine, which is practicing the path.
So logical. And then day 15 analyzes the root cause of this illness, the virus itself.
Yes, delusions, specifically ignorance.
But the text defines ignorance differently than we usually do, right? It's not just a lack of data.
No, not at all. It defines ignorance as an active, aggressive blindness to the true nature of reality.
The rope and the snake.
Exactly. It's like being in a dark room, seeing striped rope on the floor, and mistakenly reacting with absolute terror because you think it's a venomous snake.
Your heart rate spikes, you panic.
Right. The terror is real, but the snake is completely projected by your mind.
And this ignorance leads to what the text calls the view that equates the self with the perishable.
Yes.
It basically creates the illusion of this solid I and mind, which spawns all of our attachment and hostility.
Because once you have a solid I, you have to protect it. You have to feed it.
I just marvel at how much this resembles modern cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT.
It really does.
I mean, it's like running around your whole life trying to cure a snake bite, but the real cure is just turning on the lights to realize it was a rope all along.
That is exactly it. Turning on the lights.
So the medium scope cures your own illness. You turn on the lights. But then section 4, the great scope, days 16 through 24, it asks the ultimate question.
How can you be truly free if everyone else is still suffering?
Right. And this is where the teaching reaches this magnificent radical peak.
Days 16 through 19 are all about the development of bodhicitta.
Which is the desire for enlightenment specifically for the sake of all other beings.
Yes. And the 7-point mind training. And the visualization Rinpoche uses here is wild.
The past lives thing.
Yeah.
Right.
He asks you to recognize that because we have lived infinite past lives, Every single sentient being has, at some point, been your very own mother.
Wow, every single one.
Everyone, the barista, your boss, the guy cutting you off in traffic, and Rinpoche urges the practitioner to remember their motherly kindness.
But then he adds a twist, right?
He does. He says, you must realize that right now, that kind mother of yours is like a blind, mad woman wandering toward the edge of a cliff.
Driven mad by the illusion of the snake.
Exactly. So you can't just sit there. You must practice the interchange of self and others. You have to save her.
And that leads into days 20 and 21, covering the 6 perfections.
Generosity, ethics, patience, perseverance, concentration, and wisdom.
I really want to talk about patience here, because the text uses this analogy of a fire. It says if a fire burns your hand, it's your own fault for touching it. You don't get angry at the fire.
Right. Fire just burns. That's what it does.
Exactly. So similarly, if a deluded person harms you, getting angry at them is as pointless as getting angry at the fire.
It is completely irrational.
It completely removes the concept of victimhood. But I have to ask, how do you actually maintain that level of supreme patience when someone is actively insulting you or, trying to ruin your life?
It's hard, but you have to point back to the mother analogy and the snake analogy.
Combine them.
Yes. If you truly deeply see the person attacking you as your own mother, who has just gone temporarily insane, blinded by her own delusions and terror, your reaction shifts instantly.
From anger to compassion.
Profound compassion. You realize they have no control over their own mind. You don't yell at someone having a psychotic break. You pity them and want to help them.
That is so powerful. And if you can do that, you reach day 22, the absolute pinnacle of the teachings. Emptiness. Rinpoche challenges the listener to find the I that they cherish so much.
Right. He says, look for it. Are you your physical body? Are you your mind?
And he uses the analogy of searching for a lost bull.
Yes. Imagine you lose a bull in 2 specific valleys. You go in and you search everywhere, behind every rock, every tree.
And when you search everywhere and realize the bull is absolutely not there.
The sudden, vivid realization of that absence is the realization of emptiness. It's not just an intellectual idea. It's an experiential shock.
The ultimate light bulb moment.
Exactly.
What an incredible arc we just compressed. I mean, remind yourself of the journey here. We started from physically cleaning a dusty room to prepare the vessel.
Simple chores.
Right, then confronting the brutal reality of death and karma to wake us up.
The falling piano.
Then diagnosing the psychological trap of the self with the rope and the snake.
Yeah.
And finally, reaching this breathtaking view of emptiness and universal compassion.
This text, it really isn't just a historical document. It's a systematic manual for reverse engineering your own ego.
Yeah, you don't have to be a monk in a 1921 hermitage to treat your mind like a vessel, or to, look at a frustrating coworker and see a suffering being who just needs patience.
You can do it today.
Right now.
And that brings us to a final provocative thought from the text. Briefly, at the end, it mentions the practice of turning unfortunate circumstances into the path itself.
A very advanced mind training.
Yes. So I want to leave you with this to ponder. What if the biggest struggle, or the most annoying person in your life right now, is not an obstacle to your peace? What if they are the exact medicine you need to wake up from the illusion of your own self-importance?
The obstacle is the path.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.